Hello everyone, I'm here to recap New England beating Minnesota 24-10. Uh, Statistically, Tom Brady 24 of 32, 311 yards and 9.7 average yards per attempt, one touchdown, one pick, wasn't sacked once. 102.5 quarterback rating. Sony Michel led them in carries with 17 for 63 yards, a 3.7 average. Edelman carried twice for 35. James White 6 for 26. Rex Burkhead 7 for 20. Patterson 1 for 6. Devlin 4 for 5 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Brady 2 for 5. And that's 39 carries for 160 yards and a 4.1 average yards per carry. Receiving, James White led them. 7 of 9 targets for 92 yards, 13.1 average, and a 42-yard long, kind of towards the end of the half there. Josh Gordon, 3 of 3 for 58 yards and a touchdown. Patterson, 2 of 2 for 53 for 26.5 yards a catch. Gronk got 3 of his 4 targets for 26 yards. Edelman, 3 of 8 for 25. Burkhead, 2 of 2 for 21. Hogan, 2 of 2 for 20. Devlin, 1 of 1 for 9. And Michelle, 1 of 1 for 7. Now, they were 7 of 14 on third down, so that's 50%. They were 67% in the red zone, going 2 for 3. Plus 1 in the turnover margin, and 33 minutes and 21 seconds was their time of possession. Now, Minnesota, Kirk Cousins, 32 of 44. Yards are 201, 4.6 average yards per attempt, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, sacked twice, and a rating of 70.3. Dalvin Cook carried 9 times for 84 yards and 9.3 average and a long of 32. Murray, 4 carries for 11 yards and 2.8 average. Now, they had 13 carries for 95 yards for 7.3 yards. Run there. Diggs was the leading receiver, 5 for 5 for 49 yards. Rudolph, 3 for 3 for 38 yards. Robinson, 5 of 9 for 37 yards. Thielen caught 5 of his 10 targets for 28 yards and a score. Dalvin Cook got the ball 8 out of 10 targets for 22 yards. Treadwell, 2 of 2 for 13. C.J. Ham, 2 of 2 for 11. And Murray, 2 of 2 for 3. They were 3 of 12 on third down, so that's a whopping 25% on third down. They converted their only time in the red zone. They were -1 in the turnover margin, and they held the ball for 26 minutes and 39 seconds. Now we get to some of the fun stuff here, where I get to talk about things. And I think we have some major issues offensively. And I'm looking at Flip. And the main reason being is this game was at one point tied in the third quarter. Now, they got away from giving the ball to Dalvin Cook, at least in the run game, and he got 9.3 yards a carry on 9 carries for 84 yards. I don't understand why they went away from this. DeFilippo seems to get away from the run at around 15 carries. Anywhere in plus or minus 2 or 3 in that area, he stops. And I don't know why. And I get it, if we fall down or it's not working, you go away from it. This game, it was the exact opposite. Throwing the ball wasn't really working. And running the ball in the outside zones with Dalvin Cook was. And that's because they were essentially running a soft zone where they were bracketing either Thielen or Diggs. And they would pretty much allow you to throw underneath as they covered your deep threat people. Now, which is why you saw when Dalvin, he caught 8 balls and didn't really do anything with them. That would probably be why. They were playing a soft zone, so they would come up and make tackles. However, when you run the ball and you get blockers in front of him, we saw things happen. And I don't understand why you discontinue running the ball with Dalvin Cook. And it doesn't make sense. I mean, Dalvin Cook is probably something that should kind of drive this offense, and he really doesn't. We let Thielen and Diggs kind of dictate how this offense goes, which those are really good guys to have, don't get me wrong. I get it. You have an $84 million quarterback and you have Thielen and Diggs. I get it. But at the same time, when the run is working better than the pass, why are you just continuing the run? It doesn't make any sense. And we need to stop running the ball up the middle on 4th and 3rd and short, mainly 4th and 3rd and 1. I know we technically got it, but that wasn't. That was kind of a generous ref ball kind of thing. I don't think we got it. I also don't think Kyle Rudolph caught that pass. I think we got some breaks to go our way, and we still kind of got blown out a bit, which is very bad. And those 4th and 3rd and 1 plays, it hardly ever works. It feels like it's just Mike Zimmer going, nope, it's football. We must run the ball right up the middle when you don't have the guards to do it. You don't have the power up front to do that. And we really haven't since he got there, and we've seen this being done since Matt Asiata. And this doesn't usually work. This is something that I don't have a number with. But if I had to guess, more often than not, this is a failed attempt. And it's getting frustrating to see them just lose the same way over and over and over and over and over again. They don't seem to learn from their mistakes. And as far as Cousins did today, he did not play well. I think he took too many shots when he should have probably checked down, even though he checked down a lot today. I just think that first interception was a really bad throw. I thought you really need to get that above him because he actually did have him beat. Thielen had that. It was a tough catch, but we've seen him catch those things before, but Cousins probably could have thrown a better ball. There was that one deep shot, that last interception. I don't really blame him for it. That's just him trying to make a play of, it's 24-10. You need to take some kind of shot to get chunk yards. So I don't really care about that one just because the game was over. The game was over. But my main issue is DeFilippo because I think the more we see of DeFilippo, the more we tend to see he doesn't like running the ball, even when it's working. And that's a serious problem because I think we can all agree the offensive line on our offense is the weakest link that we have. And by exposing Kirk Cousins 40 to 50 times a game to this pass rush that will be coming at him, that is a recipe for turnovers and probably more losses than we should have. And this is a game that we probably should have been in till the very end if we just stuck with the running game with Dalvin Cook, because Dalvin Cook seemed like he was kind of feeling it today. And 9 carries. He got 9 carries. That's ridiculous. That should never happen when he's like this. And defensively, they struggled quite a bit at times. I think they had spurts where they played really well. There were some Zimmer things that I didn't really understand in this game because he did pull Mackenzie Alexander for Sherrills, I think, the second drive of the game. It was early in the game. And it seemed like it was for missing an assignment of some form. And the problem was Waynes and Rhodes were out of the game because Rhodes was on a pitch count because he had a hamstring injury, and Waynes left for concussion protocols. So you put in Mackenzie Alexander, you take him out for Marcus Sherrills, who he's listed at corner, but you really should just put ST by his names because he's a special teamer. He's, I guess in a pinch he could do it, but the way they were kind of using him tonight seemed like way too much. I understand there were injuries, but that's one reason why, even if he missed the assignment, don't pull Mackenzie Alexander. And we saw Mackenzie Alexander make a few plays in this game, and I don't really understand that move. I know it's probably more of a disciplinary thing, but when you're in New England and it's a close game, don't put out Marcus Sherrills and Holton Hill as your outside guys. That's a serious problem. We saw pretty much Zimmer saying, well, we're just going to make Kendricks, Anthony Harris, and Harrison Smith just pretty much run all over the place and hopefully they make enough plays. That's not how you win against these Super Bowl contending teams. You can't do that. And they were killed by James White, just as a total thing. They allowed 117 total yards to James White alone. I know 42 of those came before the half, but still, throughout the entire game, he was kind of killing them. And they allowed 4.1 yards per carry, and they really couldn't tackle well today for portions of this game. And special teams, kickers, Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey's becoming kind of an issue as well. Missing more kicks again. I know it was in pretty sloppy weather. However, it's not going to get better next week when we go to Seattle, I bet. So you have to be able to make these kicks as well. Like, this is a team that was expected to contend. Now we're just fighting to make a wild card berth at it because we're only a game above 500. So, were there injuries? Yes. But I think part of this really has to do with the fact that they have this kind of love affair with throwing the ball even when running the ball is working. Like, we've seen other games where it works and they kind of get away from it. Like, I know the numbers probably weren't the best. I don't remember what they were for the Saint game, but I do know it was at least effective and they got away from it then. And we ended up making two pretty crucial mistakes that involved throwing the ball that ultimately cost us that game. We have more mistakes in this game that were caused by throwing the ball, and this kind of seems to be more of a trend as we go through the year. And it's kind of concerning. But overall, this game, I think, was a massive disappointment for us because I didn't expect to win this game, don't get me wrong, but I did at least anticipate some form of fight in this game. Instead, we kind of got slapped in the face and never really fired back. And I would like to know what you guys think down in the comments below. And until next time, I've been Jelly